this is going to make Frank really sad. Frank loves the Fantastic Four. It's the first family of superheroes. The Fantastic Four films that came out, and they were 2005, 2007 with Jessica Alba and with Chris Evans, who's now Captain America. They weren't good films. The first film in particular, and I saw both these in the theater, it was so low budgeted that half the whole middle of the third of the movie, they're stuck inside the Fantastic Four tower, just hanging out, goofing off. They don't get a chance to even use their powers really until the end of the movie. So it was not good. Rise of the Silver Surfer fared better in 2007. It actually had Silver Surfer. He actually looked pretty cool. They actually used their powers more. But then Galactus was a cloud at the end. You didn't really see Galactus. There was no big fight against Galactus at the end. It was just sort of Silver Surfer flying into the cloud. And that's where Fox sort of ended that in 2007. And then people were like, all right, this is going to come back to Marvel because Fox has no idea what they're doing. They're not putting the money into it. This is right after doing the abysmal X-Men 3 and having no budget with that. And you need a budget to do a Fantastic Four movie. They're a cosmic space fighting team.
Yeah, it's all special effects.
Yeah, it's all special effects. Even though Thor is in a suit, that's still an expensive suit. And Thor, the Thing's in a huge suit.
Yeah.
So either you get a huge suit that costs a lot of money, or you do CG, which costs a lot of money. Human Torch is a lot of money. Invisible Woman, that's not cheap. And then you got a guy that stretches.
Right.
The one thing about those movies, though, even though Doctor Doom in the movie, the backstory, he was also a scientist in the team and he knew everyone. Even that was stupid. The Doom costume still was pretty good. The Doom costume looked like Doom, so that was cool. So for some reason, Fox wants to have a go at Fantastic Four. They're lucky enough putting out the last few good X-Men movies and getting back on track there. But they want to do another Fantastic Four movie. And so at the start, people were concerned about it. It was the director of the guy that did, what was it, the movie where they get special powers. It was a found footage film. And you're going crazy. It was like a found footage film with the teenagers, and the three of them, they start doing crimes, and it's all telekinesis stuff. And so that's the director doing this. And I probably should know my shit about the director. But here's the weird thing though about this. No one knows anything about this movie. There was no Comic-Con footage, no teasers have been shown, no costume reveals, and this comes out next summer.
Yeah.
We're only 7 months away, and it's supposed to come out.
And now we know why no one saw anything.
And now we know why they're hiding it from us. Yes. So here's the problem with this movie. The first problem was that they're all cast, they're all early 20s.
Yeah, they're all super young.
They're really young. And Reed Richards is an older guy. He's got the gray hair going on.
He's been a skunk stripe for,
Yeah. I mean, he's not 60, but he's probably gotten at least in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
And then, the Thing, Ben Grimm, he's an older guy. He's friends a long time, so he's a guy a little bit older.
Right.
He's always a guy probably when Kirby drew him was early 40s, late 30s at least, not a 20-something.
Right.
The only young one is the Human Torch. He's the young kid.
Yeah,
that's part of his personality. So we're not starting great. Some people will be upset about this. To me, this is why I'm upset about this part. Because it's an unnecessary thing to explain. They cast a black actor as Human Torch.
That doesn't... See, that sort of thing doesn't bother me at all, because it doesn't need to... Well...
But here's why. Because it wouldn't bother me if he was not related to the sister on the team. So now you have to go out of your way to explain why is one black and why is one white.
Adoption?
Exactly. Do we have to go into that? So supposedly...
No, you don't. You just say adoption. I mean, that's simple. That's my least concern.
But this is where it starts to get weird, though, because now I read today, they cast the father of them in the movie. When in the world did you ever hear about or give a shit about the parents of the Fantastic Four?
Never.
That's not a part of their origin. That's not a part of any of their stories. So now we're going into weird territory, which is why I was saying now you got to explain that. And now that's a part of the movie now you might explain the adoption in the movie. Okay, now it gets better, because now they're talking about, Dr. Doom is going to be the main villain in Fantastic Four. I can see your eyes.
Yay! Except
he's not going to be Victor Von Doom anymore.
No!
He's not going to be Victor Von Doom.
What's he going to be?
And the guy who looks like he's 24, who's explaining his role as Dr. Doom.
What's Doom going to be?
He looks like he is going to be an antisocial programmer on blogging sites, and his code name is Doom.
This is fucking miserable.
So again, those other things were just indications that this could be going in a weird direction. Now you know it's going in a weird direction. Now you're going in a direction that I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. There is no way I'm ever going to see this movie.
No, that's my thing.
Ever.
Too. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. I enjoy them for their place in comic history, but I don't really like reading any of their comics. There are two things that kind of involve the Fantastic Four that I like. One actually does. It's a story arc called Big in Japan. That's a good one. And then they kind of play into Planetary, although they're never mentioned by name. But I would go see... I mean, if I felt like for 1 sec... But I like Doom. I love Dr. Doom. Love the shit out of Dr. Doom.
He's the best Marvel villain.
Oh, he is. If I thought for a second they were going to do Dr. Doom justice, I would probably go see a Fantastic Four film. But this is ridiculous. This is them real... I mean... It's just stupid.
He's Victor Domashev. They changed his name from Doom to Domashev as well.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
This is... The X-Men movies, they were getting right. They were like starting to go, even though it's its own universe, they're starting to go in a good direction with them. So
I feel like.
So this is them going back to how they were before, saying, "Fuck the comics. We're going to do our own thing. We're going to give a director his own vision," which is always good when the director wants his own vision of a comic book that's been around since 1961.
Yeah.
This kicked off the Marvel Silver Age. Was Fantastic Four #1?
I know.
Even though you may not like the comic that much, this is a very big superhero.
That's
team.
what I'm saying. I appreciate them for what they represent.
You have X-Men in popularity, Avengers, and Fantastic Four. They're third. That's basically, I'm talking about over the last 56 years. They're in the top 3. So you are shitting on them and their fan base, and I'm not saying even before this was going to come out that this would have done like Iron Man numbers, but you're already starting at a lower base because it's Fox doing, not Marvel. Because obviously Marvel would do it and pay some respect to this.
Right.
But now, though, this is going to come out and bomb. So now you just have to hope that no one sees this, so the rights either get sold back to Marvel, or else you're not going to see a proper Fantastic Four movie until like 2023 or something, which is a shame.
Yeah.
It's just a shame, because this is their third attempt, and the other 2 movies are going to be better than this one.
Well, and this is, to touch on something you said earlier, you can fuck the comics to a high degree and still make a movie that people want to see. Spider-Man had done it. The X-Men movies, to a large degree, fuck the comic book over, but they still stay true to them just enough.
The spirit's there.
The spirit's there that you can read it as an arc you can watch it as an arc by a guest author. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. This is just so completely different. This sounds like I don't even really like the guy that much, but did you ever hear Kevin Smith talk about what Tim Burton wanted to do with Superman?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is what this sounds like.
These are directors, hotshot young director, who did that other movie where they get the alien powers, and I think it's the same black actor, Michael B. Jordan, who's playing Johnny Storm, is playing it here. This is an arrogance and a total disdain towards the fan. You may get pissed off at Zack Snyder. This is 10 times worse than anything Zack Snyder's ever done on film, because now you are totally distorting it into your own. Don't even call it Fantastic Four. This is what Frank would say. Don't call it Fantastic Four. It's even been reported that this is going to be gritty.
This is the
Fantastic
difference.
Four is anything but gritty. Fantastic Four is supposed to be more lively and more just like, how do you do? Like, it's obviously there's some elements that are, wow, this is fucked up shit, but it's not supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be lively and fun. So this is totally going off. I'm hoping this guy, Toby Kebbell, is playing Dr. Doom again. It looks like he's 24. I hope he's fucking with everyone. I really do. Or else this is their way of saying, we better get the news out now, because once people really find out, once they see the first teaser, people are going to lose their fucking shit over this.
Going back to your Zack Snyder comment, the difference is, and the reason why I hate someone like Zack Snyder, is people will pay money to go see the Zack Snyder movie. There's no fear of anyone losing their money over this Fantastic Four movie. No one's going to fucking go see it. No one.
No. I feel bad for guys like Frank, who love Fantastic Four, they'll never see it done with justice on screen. You see a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, that could be, that tone and spirit, that level, that should be a Fantastic Four. If Marvel had it, that would be a Fantastic Four sort of feel of a movie. Like, they can do it. And I think Marvel's saying, fuck it. They're not even doing the Fantastic Four comic at this point, partially because of this. They're pissed. Yeah. And they should be. This ruins their property. Yeah. This affects Marvel.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean? I wish there was a clause in these contracts going back to the late 90s, early 2000s, when I wish there's a clause where it's overall time period, but I don't know if there are. I think it's just in continuity, or it just not in continuity. I can't think of the word right now because I'm angry. But like, I wish there was a clause where if they, as long as they keep making these movies, they can keep doing it. I hope it cuts off at some point, because obviously this is a catastrophe. If you're a Fantastic Four fan, I feel really bad for you that this is what you're stuck with. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, Victor Von Doom, Doom is partially the basis for how freaking Darth Vader looks.
Yeah.
You know, and acts. You know, and now he's a hacker. He's a blogger. You know, it's like what? So then, how is that fantastic? How is that fantastical? You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
well, are they also going to find their powers in like a dirt field on the ground? They're not going to go to space now anymore. How are they going to go to space? We're all 23 years old.
Are they not going to have powers? Is one good with a Zippo? One's good at hiding. One's a contortionist, and one's really strong.
It's going to be like Fantastic Four meets Watchmen.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
They're all based in reality
They-
somehow. Holy shit!
So
This is what Toby Kebbell said. I'm excited to see it too, but my nerves really. The only thing I can tease you about is what I worked on the most with the voice, because nobody, even in the cartoons when I was watching them, I was like, so where's he from? There's a mild change, and I'll tell you because of our history. I guess he's talking to the reporter that he
Right.
can trust him. He's Victor Donashev, not Victor Von Doom in our story. And I'm sure I'll be sent to jail for telling you that. The Doom in ours, I'm a programmer. Very antisocial
yeah, that's
programmer.
not a mild change.
And on blogging sites, I'm Doom. God dang it.
It's going to be so bad.
Holy shit! Because this is the movie everyone's forgetting about. You have Avengers coming out in May. You know, you got Ant-Man coming out next year. You're probably gonna have other superhero movies come out or from graphic novels, and this is the forgotten superhero movie for a reason.
Yes.
Because this is going to tank, and I hope it tanks hard. And I hope they come crawling back to Marvel Studios saying, please. Here, just we'll trade it for a bag of baseballs, as I do with the bad player. We'll just give you the rights back to this, because we have no idea what we're doing.